We've got some incredible new video of a hero coach disarming a student with a shotgun.
This morning, new video shows the tense moments a Portland high school football coach disarmed a student roaming the campus with a loaded shotgun. The powerful surveillance footage obtained by ABC station K2 shows Coach Keenan Lowe first tossing the gun's clip into the hallway, then walking out of the classroom, one hand on the gun, the other on the student. Lowe handing that shotgun off and hugging the 18-year-old. You see Lowe talking with Angel Granados Diaz as he slowly backs them away from the classroom. Students then running out, Lowe holding Granados Diaz until police closed in. Following this shooting scare in May, police and students praised Lowe as a hero.
He put his life at danger for us.
As Turkey deployed more armor to its southern border, the 5-day ceasefire the U.S. brokered to stop Turkey's assault on the Kurds of Syria seems increasingly fragile. Turkey's President Erdogan today. If it works, it works, he said. If it doesn't, we will continue to crack the terrorist skulls. Threats not lost on the commander of all Kurdish forces, U.S. ally General Mazloum Kobani, who today made an urgent appeal.
President Trump says he saved millions of lives with his agreement. Do you agree with that?
This agreement will lead to the killing of millions of Kurds and the expulsion of millions of Kurds from their land, he said. It will be the biggest ethnic cleansing operation in the 21st century, and it's happening right in front of the American Army's eyes.
International media is spreading wild allegations accusing Turkey of using chemical weapons during its anti-terror operation in Syria. Turkey has strongly rejected the allegations and emphasized that it can never be the case.
Bu alçaklar aynı şekilde dünyanın çeşitli yerlerinde yaşanmış olaylara ait fotoğrafları harekat sırasında olmuş gibi sosyal medyada yayınladılar. Tekrar söylüyorum ki biz uluslararası hukuk ve anlaşmalar ile yasaklanan hiçbir mühimmatı veya kimyasal silah kullanmadık, kullanmayız. Zaten bu tür mühimmat Türk Silahlı Kuvvetleri envanterinde bulunmamaktadır. Gururla ifade ediyorum ki bugüne kadar gerçekleştirdiğimiz tüm operasyonlarda masum insanların zarar görmemesi için hiçbir ülkenin göstermediği kadar hassasiyet gösterdi.
Qantas 7879, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
QF 7879 landed after more than 19 hours in the air. If, as the airline plans, New York-Sydney becomes a regular route, it would be the world's longest scheduled service. This test flight had taken off with more than 100 tons of fuel. On board were 6 pilots, but just 50 passengers.
They encouraged us to get up and exercise in the back of the plane. So we all did like little squats together and little Macarena moves. And then they just kept the lights on really, really bright. And then they shut the lights. And we had about 10 hours of darkness where everybody tried to sleep.
Qantas Airlines described this as a research flight, one where passengers and crew were monitored for almost a full day and a full night in the air.
Now, protesters demanding political reform in Lebanon have been given an unexpected boost. The head of the Christian Forces Party, Samir Jaja, has asked his ministers to resign from the government. Well, crowds of demonstrators celebrated the announcement, but they're demanding deeper political change. Tens of thousands have taken to the streets across Lebanon since Thursday to protest against tax increases and alleged political corruption.
Well,
as you can see behind me, it's day 4 and protesters are back on the streets. You mentioned the Saturday night protests, a very large turnout, not just in the Lebanese capital, but across the country and in many cities across the country. The message these people are giving the government is we will continue to demand the resignation of the government. We're standing outside Government Palace. People here are defiant. It is a message to the Prime Minister Saad al-Hariri, who didn't resign on Friday, but gave his political partners up to Monday to come up with a new budget plan.
A teenage democracy campaigner has been stabbed in Hong Kong. The attack on the 19-year-old man follows an attack last week on a high-profile leader of a pro-democracy organisation. Police say they've arrested a 22-year-old man in relation to the incident.
Well, this young man was handing out leaflets for a major pro-democracy event when he was allegedly set upon by another man wielding a knife and stabbed in the neck and stomach. Now, according to images circulating online, the wounds appear quite severe, but he was reportedly conscious when taken to hospital. As for the motivation behind this attack, the local public broadcaster quotes a witness saying that the alleged offender shouted either during or immediately after the attack that Hong Kong is part of China. Now, this attack follows one just days earlier when a major pro-democracy figure in Hong Kong was himself set upon by up to 5 people brandishing knives and hammers and also taken to hospital.
The president scrapping plans to host next year's G7 summit at his Doral resort in Florida. The president tweeting, quote, based on both media and Democrat-crazed and irrational hostility, we will no longer consider Trump National Doral, Miami, as the host site for the G7 in 2020. We will begin the search for another site, including the possibility of Camp David, immediately.
Democrats were in uproar over the initial proposal, including 3 who filed legislation to block it from happening on Trump's property.
But did their reaction go too far? Here to weigh in is Fox News contributor, Governor Mike Huckabee. Governor, good morning to you. Did the Democrats go too far in their criticism over Doral?
They always do, and they went berserk over this. I think the president made the right move to say we're not going to go there. It's just something he doesn't need to add to the plate. His plate's overwhelmed with things that he's being criticized for. There wasn't anything illegal about it, but it just was a controversy that it's an unforced error. It just doesn't need to happen. So.
Odd and very mysterious, Wolf. We spoke to a journalist in Seoul, South Korea, whose sources in Pyongyang happened to notice the coverings on these windows, and bravely those sources started photographing them. We have new information tonight on what Kim Jong-un's regime might be trying to prevent those residents from seeing. Tonight, Kim Jong-un's paranoia and obsessions with secrecy and security appear to be playing out across Pyongyang's most exclusive neighborhoods. Chad O'Carroll, correspondent for the South Korea-based news website NK News, was recently checking a lead on a construction project in the North Korean capital when his sources noticed something strange. Near an important section of Pyongyang, O'Carroll's sources saw many upper-floor windows in some luxurious high-rise apartment buildings mysteriously covered. And at great risk, they started to take pictures.
These window bars are made of concrete, they're immovable, and they are basically either fully opaque or they are on kind of slats that just allow you to look in one way.
To the race for 2020, a massive rally marking the return to the campaign trail of Democrat Bernie Sanders after his heart attack, and a big endorsement.
I am back.
Senator Bernie Sanders flexing his campaign muscle, pushing past a recent heart attack to reassure his supporters he's up for the challenge.
I am more than ready to assume the office of President of the United States.
More than 25,000 packing a park in Queens, New York, making Sanders' rally the largest for any Democrat in the 2020 campaign. His return to the campaign trail stamped with a coveted endorsement.
Holy cow!
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez praising the crowded field of Democrats, but throwing her support behind just one.
We have one of the best Democratic presidential primary fields in a generation.